this is like part 3 of my story that I'm telling, and I just wanted to make sure I give you a good general outline of how everything went on, so you know now that I had a licensed chase by the first guy that I was with, my baby father, and you know that things didn't work out between us, and I was a single mom. And now you're going to understand that making the same mistakes again and becoming pregnant. And this is how my son Tristan was born. He's number 3. I met a guy, I'm not name dropping, he was a good guy, we was cool, we was best friends, everything was working out for us. Then things took a turn for the worse, and things decided not to work out anymore, and people decided to be unfaithful and whatever the case may be. So I do not want to bash anybody, because once again, both of these guys are still very much involved now. At the time I was doing it alone. Now they're trying to co-parent, so to speak. So making the same mistakes over again, I ended up pregnant while on birth control. I was on a pill. I'm not gonna name drop with no pills. If you want to know, send me an email and I'll let you know what pill it was that did it. So I was on a pill at the time. I never forget. I didn't forget to take my pill. Granted, I did take my pill at a different time, but I took my pill regularly, so it still was no reason for it. I won't take responsibility for that. So in any event, once I got pregnant, things really just went down south, and like I made the same mistake over again. I think that God will allow you to go through something again and again and again until you get it, until you figure out this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Again, having sex before marriage. Again, putting myself in a situation where I'm committed to someone when I'm too young to be committed to anybody. At that point in time, I was still a teenager, and I already had 2 kids who I had to worry about. So major red flags, major key. Make sure you got your stuff together. Like, try not to make the same mistakes over and over again, because we are capable of doing it. So back to the story. I ended up telling him that I was pregnant. He was not happy about it at all. He was very upset. He felt that I trapped him. He felt all kinds of ways. He felt that it wasn't his child. He felt that it was just overall a bad idea. Why am I pregnant? Why the fuck are you pregnant? Why the fuck are you pregnant? And I'm not taking care of that baby. Period. That's how it all went down. So I was at work and I started crying. When I gave him the news, I was at work. I was working with a client at the time. I was doing CNA work, that's nursing. And I was taking care of an older woman, and she was like family to me, but she really didn't get too much involved in it. Like, I was like in a back room, like talking to him, and he was like, he had a bunch of negative stuff to say, whatever. Long story short, I was crying. I did not want to keep the baby. I called my sister. I told my sister, oh my God, I did not get my period. I'm pregnant again. I can't have another child. I already got 2. Like, and on top of that, he's saying that it's not even his child. He's saying that he doesn't even want anything to do with the situation, and he's not even going to take care of the baby. In your face, like that. Take that. I felt like life was just throwing me a shitty hand. I was just getting all shitty cards. But you know what? My family motivated me, and they say, you know what, Alicia, you are the strongest person I've ever known. Like, you got 2 kids. There's no reason why you can't deal with one more. Call me crazy, but I believed it. And like, in my spirit, in my stomach, I could not go through with getting an abortion. I knew that it wasn't right by God. Like, I just knew that it wasn't right, and I just couldn't do it. So I took it upon myself to keep my child. I went through my full pregnancy alone, and pregnant and fat. My back was hurting, my feet was swollen. Like, I was sick and tired, and every time I would talk to my baby father, all we would do was argue. So I just tried not to talk to him. We really didn't have any type of relationship till Tristan was 2 or 3 months old or something like that. to even try to deal with him. But once again, that's a whole story in itself about how I had to get a paternity test done because he didn't believe that it was his child. And that's with him. I ended up also getting a paternity test done for my oldest two, because after my daughter was like 6 or 7, he was just like, yeah, well, maybe she's not mine either. I'm like, okay, here we go again. So all 3 of them, I ended up getting a paternity test done, and it came out
100% you are the dad.
In your face. I know who I was fucking. So back to the drawing board. I was left to be a mom, and I did what I had to do. I took care of my responsibilities because I'm strong like that. That's what boss chicks do. We buckle down. We don't run from our responsibilities. We face our responsibilities and we take care of it. So that's what I do. But just to let you guys know that I didn't make the same mistake over, and you might make the same mistakes over too, or you might have already made the same mistakes over. But don't think that it's the end of the world. Be encouraged. Understand that the only way that you're going to learn is if that you make a mistake. You got to make a mistake to learn. If you're not making any mistakes, then obviously you're not living, and you're definitely not learning anything. So I want to encourage you to keep going. And I'll probably do a whole nother video on the paternity issue, because I know somebody's out here, somebody's saying that their child is not theirs, and they're wondering, what should I do? Like, how do we go about the whole paternity thing? Or this guy's taking you to court for a paternity test, or vice versa. It happens. You see it in all different situations and scenarios. If you got any questions, just make sure you email me. I'll be glad to answer your questions. And thanks for watching, guys. You are amazing. I love you, babes.